Have you ever wondered what you'd do if the world as you know it just stopped? No power, no water, no emergency services. Just you, in the middle of a collapsing city. It's a terrifying thought, but being prepared can mean the difference between life and death. Today, we're going to walk through a realistic guide to surviving the initial chaos and beyond. This isn't about Hollywood heroics. It's about smart, practical steps to keep you and your loved ones safe. First, let's talk about the golden hour, that critical first 60 minutes after everything goes down. Your number one priority is to get home or to a pre-designated safe location. The streets will become chaotic incredibly fast. Avoid major roads and public transport. Use back alleys and side streets. Keep your head down and move with purpose. Don't stop to help others unless you absolutely can without compromising your own safety. It sounds harsh, but in these first moments, you are your own first responder. Once you're in your safe spot, it's time for lockdown. Barricade your doors and windows. Cover windows with blankets or boards to block line of sight. Your goal is to make your home look uninviting and unoccupied. Now, take stock of your supplies. You should have a bug-in kit ready. This includes at least 3 days of non-perishable food and 1 gallon of water per person, per day. A well-stocked first aid kit, flashlights with extra batteries, a hand crank radio, and sanitation supplies are non-negotiable. Don't use your phone unless it's a true emergency. You need to conserve that battery. Tune into the emergency radio for any official broadcasts. The next 72 hours are crucial. This is when the initial shock wears off and desperation can set in. The biggest mistake people make is thinking things will return to normal quickly. You have to operate on the assumption that they won't. This is where your long-term supplies come into play. Hopefully, you've been prepping and have a pantry with weeks, if not months, of food. Ration your supplies from day one. Eat the perishable food from your fridge first. Fill up your bathtub and any available containers with water immediately, while the pipes might still have some pressure. This water can be used for sanitation or purified for drinking. Now for a critical element often overlooked. Security. A quiet, low-profile home is your best defense. Avoid using candles or bright lights that can be seen from outside at night. Keep noise to an absolute minimum. If you live in an apartment building, try to connect with trusted neighbors. There is strength in numbers. You can organize shifts for a neighborhood watch, pool resources, and support each other. A lone wolf might look cool in movies, but a community has a much higher chance of long-term survival. Let's talk about the psychological battle. This is just as important as the physical one. Being cooped up, scared, and uncertain is a recipe for mental fatigue. Establish a routine. Wake up at the same time, assign tasks, have designated meal times. Play card games, read books, talk with your family. Maintaining a sense of normalcy is a powerful psychological tool against despair and panic. It's okay to feel scared, but it's not okay to let fear paralyze you. If you or someone you're with is struggling, talk about it. Acknowledging the fear is the first step to controlling it. As days turn into weeks, you might face the decision of whether to stay or to go. Bugging out should be your absolute last resort. Your home is your fortress, with your supplies and shelter. Leaving it means venturing into an unknown, potentially hostile environment. Only consider leaving if your location is compromised. You've run out of essential supplies like water, or there's a credible threat that makes staying more dangerous than leaving. If you must go, have a bug-out bag ready for each person and a planned, scouted route to a safer location. Surviving a city's collapse is the ultimate test of preparedness, resilience, and mindset. It starts with having a plan and the supplies to back it up. It's about making smart, logical decisions under extreme pressure, not just for yourself, but for your community. Start preparing today. Build your kits, store your supplies, and talk with your family. A little preparation now can make all the difference when it matters most. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay prepared, and if you found this guide helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you be ready for anything. See you in the next video. By now, the illusion of temporary chaos is gone. The city has learned its new language and it speaks in scarcity, suspicion, and sudden violence. People stop asking what is happening and start asking who controls what. Fuel, food, medicine, and information become currencies more valuable than money. Smiles vanish, voices lower, and every interaction carries a calculation. Your family feels the pressure even if you say nothing. Hunger sharpens tempers faster than ideology ever could. This is the phase where neighbors become variables instead of allies. The real danger here is visibility mixed with desperation. Houses that look organized look lootable. Families that look calm look stalked. The myth is that strength scares threats away. In reality, strength attracts tests. Showing resources is an invitation written in fluorescent ink. Curtains stay closed, routines stay irregular, and signals stay ambiguous. You are not trying to look weak or strong, just irrelevant. The safest house is the one no one remembers. Survival favors those who dissolve into the background noise. Phase 3 is called resource compression. Everything you own must justify its weight, noise, and visibility. Excess becomes a liability. Clutter becomes delay. Water first, calories second, medical redundancy third. Tools that require fuel become museum pieces very quickly. Manual systems outlive smart systems when infrastructure dies. Sarcasm aside, electricity is now a rumor, not a guarantee. You don't prepare for comfort, you prepare for continuity. What keeps working without permission is what matters. Phase 4 is human terrain management. You stop seeing people as good or bad and start seeing behavior patterns. Groups broadcast risk through noise and confidence. Lone actors broadcast risk through unpredictability. Children change threat dynamics instantly and not in your favor. Conversations become data exchanges, not social events. You speak less, observe more, and leave earlier than feels polite. Emotional honesty is replaced by strategic neutrality. Trust is temporary and conditional always. Physiology decides outcomes long before weapons do. Dehydration erodes judgment before it feels dangerous. Caloric deficit reduces patience and increases aggression. Sleep deprivation fractures memory and spatial awareness. Stress stacks silently until it explodes sideways. You schedule rest like medicine, not luxury. You eat before hunger and drink before thirst. A regulated body makes fewer fatal mistakes. Biology is either your ally or your executioner. As days stretch on, territory stabilizes into invisible borders. Cross the wrong street and behavior changes instantly. Sounds travel farther at night and light travels farther than sound. Fires become beacons, not warmth. Vehicles turn into magnets for attention and violence. Walking looks poor but moves quietly through the human radar. The environment teaches fast and punishes slow learners. Adaptation speed becomes the real survival metric. This stage filters people brutally. The reckless are gone, the hopeful are shaken, the disciplined remain. Every choice now echoes longer and costs more. You no longer react, you anticipate. The family unit becomes tighter, quieter, more efficient. Fear stops screaming and starts whispering instructions. Those who listen survive longer than those who resist reality. The next phase will demand sacrifices, not just skills. And hesitation will no longer be forgivable. By this stage, survival is no longer reactive. It is engineered. The environment has selected against noise, ego, and improvisation. What remains is a stripped-down reality where every action has a cost curve. You no longer ask if something is safe, only if it is necessary. The family moves with fewer words and clearer roles. Silence becomes a tool, not a symptom of fear. The world outside is loud enough without your help. Staying alive now means staying deliberately uninteresting. Phase 5 is called predictive avoidance. You don't wait for danger to appear, you read the signs before it exists. Changes in foot traffic, new symbols, altered routines, unfamiliar smells. Violence announces itself quietly before it erupts loudly. You reroute early, abandon plans easily, and never argue with momentum. The best escape is the one taken before anyone knows you were there. Pride kills faster than bullets at this point. Flexibility is the real armor. Phase 6 is family load balancing. No one carries everything, no one carries nothing. Energy, stress, and responsibility rotate to prevent collapse. Children are managed through structure, not explanations. Fear spreads faster when unmanaged. Simple rituals preserve sanity in collapsing systems. You protect morale the same way you protect calories. A broken mind makes broken decisions. Stability is manufactured, not discovered. The science here is brutal and boring. Chronic stress degrades immune response and cognitive speed. Decision fatigue increases risk tolerance at the worst moments. Humans under prolonged threat default to habits, not logic. That's why routines are redesigned early and rehearsed repeatedly. Muscle memory replaces debate. The body follows what it has practiced when the mind is overwhelmed. Training beats intelligence in extended crises. As weeks pass, the landscape hardens. Power structures solidify, resources centralize, and movement becomes more restricted. Windows for escape narrow or vanish entirely. Staying put too long becomes as dangerous as moving too late. You reassess constantly without emotional attachment. Plans are temporary, exits are mandatory. The map in your head updates daily or it becomes fiction. Static thinking is now a death sentence. This is where many survivors sabotage themselves. They relax too early or hope too hard. Small comforts creep back and bring big risks with them. Complacency wears the disguise of relief. You resist it deliberately. Survival is maintained, not achieved. The moment you think you've made it, you stop adapting. And the environment punishes that instantly. If you've reached this phase, you're no longer just alive, you're aligned with reality. The chaos hasn't ended, but you've learned its rhythm. Your family moves inside it instead of against it. There are no guarantees, only probabilities managed intelligently. This is not heroism, it's quiet persistence. The collapse doesn't care about your story. It only respects preparation, discipline, and timing,